You know, a decade before I became a full-time reporter in New Brunswick, pretty well 1986, I became fascinated with the photography of OPG and Topps hockey cards. Some that were taken mostly at the Montreal Forum, some at St. Louis's home arena. But the 1975, what I call the Loblaws or Save-A-Z sticker set, where you get free stickers by purchasing items at your local Save-A-Z or Loblaws store. There was a whole bunch of players that rarely would get on OPG or Topps cards. Now, when we got this guy's sticker, we noticed right away one of the best goalie photos of the 1970s. It not only showed great action, you're seeing the photo in the podcast here. It kind of, we thought at first it was, maybe Cesar Maniego, but it was a player that we later learned is probably one of the best amateur goalies to come from Quebec of the 1960s. His name was Fern Rivard, and this is a tribute to him, not only for his great play with the Minnesota North Stars over a number of seasons. The fact was he was a dedicated player in the, Quebec minor pro or senior program. So he was born January 18, 1946 in Grand-Mère, Quebec. Now, 5'9", 160. He eventually came to major prominence with the Peterborough Petes of the OHA. Now, the Petes had a lot of great prospects, but he started off in the QPJHL with the Quebec Citadels in 1962, played 45 games with them in 63, and 35 games with them in 64. Now, with the Quebec Aces, he played one game in the AHL in 64. Then with the Thetford Mine Blackhawks of the QJAHL in 65. And also with the Montreal Junior Canadiens that year of the OHA. Last eligible year of junior, played with the Peterborough Petes, 14 games that year. Now, Muskegon Mohawks was his first major minor pro squad. He played in 68 games, ladies and gentlemen, that year for the very popular IHL side. But 68 back to the Quebec Aces of the AHL 4 years after he first skated with them. And the Quebec Aces at the time were a Philadelphia Flyers, affiliate. 46 games that year and 12 games in the playoffs. So the NHL was going to start calling. Now, Minnesota got him in the interleague draft. He played with the Memphis South Stars of the CHL in 69 for 29 games and finally got his start with the NHL. Unfortunately, he didn't win a game in the 69 season, 0-6-4 in 13 games. Now, in 1970, he found himself with the Iowa Stars of the CHL and Minnesota for 14 games. Minnesota 3-5-5 record in 14 starts. Now, remember what I said about the AHL? He was 4 years between assignments with Quebec. He was sent back down to the minors and toiled for nearly 4 seasons with Cleveland and the Jacksonville Barons of the AHL and the New Haven Nighthawks of the AHL. Now, great success was with the Cleveland Barons in 73, where Cleveland and Jacksonville shared the Barons' name. 65 games, ladies and gentlemen, and put up some really decent numbers with a 4.11 average. Now, 74, he got called back up to Minnesota, played in 13 games and a 3.36-2 record with his with a shutout. 75 was split between New Haven and Minnesota, played 7 games in New Haven and 15 with the North Stars as the third backup or the number 3. But why would the players for Minnesota, I think there was only like 16 players in a sticker set. Maybe they figured that Fern was going to be the big number 2 for Minnesota because at the time this Gump-Worsley was gone and there was a lot of players coming up. But a dedicated player, 55 games in the AHL with 2 shutouts, a 9-26 and 11 record, but it belies the talent this guy had. Like I said, he was a durable goalie, and you got to play in Peterborough. You got to be good. So looking at his career over a number of seasons, he was what he called a big part of every team he played for. Now, again, sorry about that. Having some technical problems here. He was a big player with every team he played for, but sometimes he didn't get that final break that would bring him, into the NHL. So again, he was a top player in junior, top player in the AHL, CHL, top player as a backup in Minnesota. And again, a lot of people felt that he wasn't given enough of a shot as a true backup in Minnesota, but Fern can play the ankles. Not the biggest player on the ice, but he showed success. Fern had played a couple of games, I think, on Hockey Night in Canada in relief. And, he impressed a lot of people because how many Quebecers were playing for the Minnesota North Stars at a time? It really stood out. And because he came through the Quebec and Peterborough program and the Quebec Aces and as well, very popular AHL team who he was a hometown hero to many. So that's the legend of Fern Rivard. If you like what we're doing here with our vintage Sports Hall podcast, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. But take a look at that beautiful photo from that 75, like I said, Loblaw set. Just gorgeous. And inspired me as a photographer every time I try to get a goalie shot. Like he's anticipating the play. If you're going to fill the net, look at that Fern Rivard shot. That's what you need to do if you're a good backstop. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.